was down the street. I remember one time I was camping with my family, and there was a store on the campground that sold ice cream, and my parents gave my sister and I some money for us to go walk there and get some ice cream. I was too scared because it was out of my parents' sight, and my sister decided to go alone, even though she was younger than me. And I thought that that was so crazy that she was able to do that, and she came back with ice cream completely fine. And that memory always stuck with me. Fast forward to, I think, my first year of university. I took the bus to school, and on the bus, I remember always feeling so dizzy and lightheaded. And I very well remember very well, one time I was on the bus and I was sitting in between two people on a longer seat, and I thought for sure that I was going to faint. And I just remember thinking, like, that these people on either side of me, it's good that they were there in case I faint. They would basically be holding me up. And then also, sometimes in my classes, the door would be at the very front of the room. So when you enter the classroom, everybody sees you. And that scared me. I didn't like people looking at me. And sometimes that would prevent me from going to my classes, because if I didn't show up early, that meant that I'd have to enter into a room full of people. And that was really scary to me, and I kind of also felt at the same time during the class that there was no escape, because I would have to leave the room in front of all those people and everybody would look at me. So I didn't know what was going on. All these times of feeling like I was gonna faint, or like lightheaded, dizzy. Yeah, I was confused as to what was going on. So I went to the doctor and told her about it, and she basically told me that I was having panic attacks from anxiety disorder, which was really surprising to me because I don't know what I thought anxiety was, but it never really occurred to me that that's what it could have been. So my doctor put me on some medication, and unfortunately I had to go through a lot of different trials of medication because of side effects, such as feeling shaky, and some of them made my mood worse, and they made me depressed. I remember one of them made me have panic attacks at night, so it basically made it worse. And then some of them numbed me to the point where I feel like I had no personality. So I don't know how many medications I tried, but it was definitely a lot. And I decided about 7 years ago to stop taking medication for my anxiety. feel like I had a little bit more control on my anxiety when I was using herbs and stuff. I was taking like ashwagandha and like lavender and chamomile and all those relaxing ones. I also tried taking like mushrooms like reishi. Reishi is supposed to be a calming mushroom. But anyway, I feel like my anxiety was the best when I was not eating so much junk and getting exercise in. I was walking about 15-20 minutes a day, and yeah, so like just getting a light sweat on, and I was also taking adaptogens at that time as well, and I felt pretty good, and I like even my social anxiety had gone down. But things flux and flow, and sometimes anxiety can just come out of nowhere, and I usually realize that it's like related to stress, and I do have chronic migraines, so usually it's associated with that as well. But anyway, that was my story of anxiety. I would really like to hear your thoughts, and if you can relate, or if that helped you at all. It's definitely something that's very, very hard. It's something that's usually invisible that a lot of people go through, and it's hard to talk about. And it's really confusing, especially at the beginning. Like when things start getting really hard, it's really confusing, but I got through it, or I'm still going through it, I guess. Like, anxiety's not gone forever, but I'm learning to live with it. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video,